Hello everybody. So I really didn't intend to make this video. I was actually about to go to bed and I had started to notice something and it really started to irritate me and piss me off because if I typed in does Aramaic come out of Africa, right? And I said does Aramaic come from Amharic? I think I'm saying if I'm saying that correctly. And they keep saying no 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 no. Anything I look up in terms of Arabs in Africa is a brick wall. They say no association, no, no, no. But if you go down here and read this, right? This right here, out of Africa migration, not all non-African human populations ultimately have their roots in Africa, meaning all humans are from Africa. Having left the continent between 60,000 and 125,000 years ago because the Arabic Peninsula is one of the initial sites out of Africa. Right. So then I thought to myself, so that's weird. Why aren't they associating it? So I said, is Aramaic a branch of an African language? They said no. It's a Semitic language that is a part of the Afro-Asiatic language family. What is a Afro-Asiatic if it's not a part of African? What is a Semitic if they didn't come from Africa? So I can kind of understand the racism in the Arabic community because if you look at North Africa, it isn't mutual. They colonized it. They enslaved it. I can show you video after video of how they do them. Although the difference between them and Europe is much different in different ways. So Europe was a lot more brutal. So they keep saying Aramaic is not a branch of an African language, right? Okay. And they're saying Semitic people aren't. So I typed in what is Amharic, right? It's the official language of Ethiopia. And where is Ethiopia if not right there, right? Is a Semitic language from the Afro-Asiatic family, spoken by millions of people. For some reason, they keep saying the birthplace of civilization is Mesopotamia and Syria and stuff like that. But even in their own science, it says right here that everything's from Africa. So why are they changing these books, these Bibles, these Qurans, all these things that teach people this stuff, right? So I said, did Aramaic come from Amharic, right? No, both languages originated from a common ancestor, Proto-Semitic. What is Proto-Semitic? African. And are therefore related but distinct languages belonging to two different branches of the Semitic family. I want to show y'all something real quick. Are Arabs European? No, Arabs are not European. They are a broad ethnic and cultural group primarily from West Asia and North Africa. Right? West Asia and North Africa. So in my videos, when I say the Hyksos invaded Africa because they had migrated out and then came back, and then Arabs were created. Before that, they were Canaanites, Babylonians, Asiatic people. So let's see if this aligns. West Asia and North Africa, right? Who are the Hyksos? A group of Semitic peoples from Western Asia. I'm telling y'all, I don't have to lie to y'all. And because of racism in every community, matter of fact, a lot of people are religious and take this stuff to heart. What are the Noahides? And they reference Noah in the Quran too. Are non-Jews who follow 7 laws of Noah, right? What is the curse of Ham? is described as a curse which is imposed upon Ham's son, Canaan, which is the patriarch of Noah. It occurs in the context of Noah's drunkenness. Ham is the African portion that this book is trying to describe. It says that we're to be their slaves. So I'm going to show y'all something else. Map of control of Africa, Christian versus Islam. It has been colonized, enslaved. So, something else they don't teach y'all. How many Africans killed by Europeans in the New Age? It is impossible to provide a precise number of Africans killed by Europeans in the modern era due to incomplete records. The transfer of the slave trade lasting from the 1500s to 1800s caused a massive loss of life with not one, not 2 millions. Between 15 to 30% dead, right? At least, so the march, right? If there's 12 million and 15 to 30% of 12 million, right? That's 4 million, right? About 4 million. So then you go even further, another 2 million, right? That's 6 million. So I'm not even going to keep going with the slave trade, because if we go throughout the brutality of all that, so then you go down to Leopold, 1885 to 1901, right? 3 to 15 million people dead, with suggesting 50% of the population decline, right? From 1904 to 1908, German colonial forces, right? So I'm going to show y'all something. When was World War I? 1914, right? Belgium, 1905. 1880s to 1905. 1908. Right? So you're telling me that by the same 1900s as the 6 million Jewish, you telling me that over 20 million Africans are killed? By their records alone, this ain't African propaganda. This is their history. And don't nobody know. What does Holocaust mean in Greek? A sacrifice by fire, a burnt offering. So, I'm seeing a lot in this day and age of people telling the truth about history, of people telling the truth about everything. So that same, I was talking about the mitzvahs in my last video, 613 plus the Ark of the Covenant, the first 3 commandments, out of the 10, how it turns into a beast and everything else, and I've given descriptions in my videos. So I'm going to show y'all a little bit about history. I'm going to show y'all a couple of names. This dude was the one that battled the Hyksos. And he brought the new kingdom and brought peace, right? This is Moses. That's where they get the name Moses. This man, this is who they call Joshua. He went to Canaan and took it back, right? Then you have this man. Why everybody's name? Juan, John, Jean-Pierre, Giovanni. What they don't teach you, you hear this intellect, this dialect in West Asia, or going further into East Asia, Juan, right? A lot of the cities and names, Juan. Where does that dialect, where does that come from? Where does Hyanan come from, right? Where does Yedho come from? In an English dialect. But back then, Hyanan. Where does that come from? Where's the name Juan come from, right? Ben Hagkol, son of the anointed one, Ben Hagios. This is the man a lot of people are looking for. but they don't tell the truth because they think supremacy and racism is going to make their lives easier. These religions are using these things to manipulate people. I'm gonna show y'all one more thing. Ancient African sundials. Yo, when I take like I've found observatories, okay, sundials, clocks. They keep talking about the Stonehenge. Observe. They found an observatory that was like, I think they said it was like 15,000. I forget, but it's ancient, and so even if you want to go over into the Arabic side, they was doing a lot with math. I mean, math was already here, but they were building on top of that. And so, how does Israel, what is the Memphis Steel? Right. This is how they got the idea of Israel and all this other stuff. They found these things. So, and another thing I wanted to show y'all, what was it? Crap. I forgot, but I'm just here to point out the hypocrisy of a lot of the buffoonery. A lot of their inventions came from Africa. This is what it was called, the Kemets, right? And there was a lot of other stuff going on. It was there was the Nile and the whole land and the whole everything. And then there was an invasion of these people who they say are African, whatever. And then over time, it became Arabs. So, I wish people would get in touch with their roots and then they could battle supremacy and racism. That's like the book tells you to honor thy father and mother, but y'all don't got no respect for Africans and war with Caucasians. That's another thing, this word, Caucasian. Okay, look at that word. It has Asian in it, right? So then you guys will look at Russia. Why don't they like Russia and always talk about Russia? Because it's in Asia. They say Asia and Europe. Russia is in Asia, right? So you see this map? It's in Asia. And so what I like to tell people is once y'all get over a lot of y'all racism, we can all connect and learn and grow and give the proper attributes to the proper people and let everybody grow and learn, man. You know what I'm saying? So I wish y'all luck, man. I wish y'all would wake up and stop being bamboozled by false religion.